Nick has a unique habit. He always listens to music before operating on patients. This patient requires brain tumor removal surgery, but at this moment, his assistant received an emergency call from the hospital administration. An explosion had just occurred in the hospital. The fire department was downstairs fighting the fire at that moment, but the flames were still not effectively under control. The hospital advised everyone to evacuate immediately. However, this complex surgery was only halfway completed. If they stopped the surgery now, the patient would certainly die. Nick decided to continue the surgery, but as the fire grew larger and larger, his assistant received another call from the hospital. The fire had spread to the oncology ward. The hospital demanded they evacuate immediately. At this point, Nick told everyone else to evacuate first, while he would stay behind to complete the surgery. At this moment, everyone looked at each other. Everyone was moved by Nick's professional dedication. Everyone decided to stay and complete the surgery together. To ensure the safety of the operating room, Nick asked his assistant to shut off all oxygen and anesthesia pipelines. But before long, the Los Angeles Fire Department issued them a final notice. If nothing went wrong, the surgery would be completed within 5 minutes. The next second, the patient suddenly began hemorrhaging heavily. At the same time, blood pressure and other vital signs were rapidly declining. They quickly took measures to stop the bleeding, while simultaneously giving the patient blood transfusions. Suddenly, the generator also stopped running. The backup power could last at most 10 minutes. Nick had to ask his assistant to start the countdown. At this time, the captain also came outside the operating room. He warned everyone that the fire was about to reach this area. He demanded that everyone must evacuate immediately, but Nick still insisted on completing the surgery. The captain was moved by their selfless dedication. Therefore, he agreed to buy them another final 10 minutes. For these final 10 minutes, the firefighters would use their own flesh and blood to build a wall outside the operating room. Outside the hospital, people also spontaneously joined hands to pray for these ordinary heroes. In front of the fire door, team members frantically ran around searching for materials to block the fire. Inside the operating room, Nick continued to perform the surgery with dedication. Just at the final moment when the fire door was about to fall, Nick finally completed the surgery.